Ashley, and I'm going to be doing a reading for the week of October 19th through the 25th. And I just wanted to share a little bit about using tarot cards and using oracle cards. They're really just a spiritual tool to use, so they really help me. Basically what they do is it confirms what I already know deep within. So tarot just helps basically kind of gratify your ego. It kind of helps you understand what you already actually know. So when you receive a message and you're like, that feels right, then you know it's for you. It's something, it's just resonating with your soul. So your soul already knows. It's just about recognizing and knowing and trusting your feelings. So I use like tarot cards and oracle cards as a way to help me. So I like to do like a spread for myself each week, and I ask certain questions. So I think I'm gonna do that this week, but for like a general reading, just so I can kind of show this is what I do. So this just kind of helps me, give me like an overview, what to look for or what to look out for, or especially like receiving signs from spirit. So this kind of gives me helps me understand what's going on like behind the scenes or with my energy. Like I said, it just confirms what I already know. So alright, so this is just going to be a general reading for the week of October 19th to the 25th. I'm using the Rider-Waite Tarot because, I don't know, this deck, like, it just has so much information. There's so much information, and there's so many different ways, like, you can read the cards, or so many messages that come through, for me, at least. I don't know, this deck is just, like, and, I don't know, I just feel like it teaches a lot. So, and, like, it's important to know that the cards, they don't mean any, like, to not give emphasis to the cards. It's not about the cards, it's more about the soul who's reading the card. That's more about the soul that's receiving the messages. So I'm just receiving messages based off what I feel, and it's not about the cards. The cards just help me explain kind of what I already know, if that makes sense. So, alright. And then I'm going to also be using, let me open these really quick, and the Wisdom of the Oracle. They just have good messages. And honestly, when you have cards, they'll just speak to you. Like, they'll be like, use me. And then you just, because there's certain messages that want to come through, especially if you do readings like this and messages and people are watching it, like, I'm able to connect with other people's higher selves, so I'm able to receive messages. So you can ask a question, you can set an intention, like, what do I need to know this week, and it will come through if you stay open to receive it. So like I said, it's really just about what your soul already knows. And I'm switching it up because this is just me. I like to sit in my bed like this, and yeah, I'm doing this from my bed. I just wanted to switch it up, and this is just me. This is just me. So here I am, and I just want to like show what I'm doing. Like, it's less about like making people like believe things, and it's just about, this is what I do. This is what I do to help me understand what's going on. Like, it helps me understand on a deeper level what's going on with me personally, and it just helps me see things from a deeper level, honestly. So from a higher perspective too, like, just from a different perspective, I choose to see like everything that's happening to me or happening in my reality that I'm choosing to create. Like, I'm creating it for a reason, and I'm creating it because my soul wants to grow. My soul wants to learn something. So sometimes we can get too attached to our minds, and we get too attached to scenarios or situations, and we let them control our emotions. And then that's when we become really sad, or we become really depressed, or we become very like anxious. And anxiousness and anxiety just comes from not having control Our mind doesn't have control, and our mind likes to be in control. Period. It just does. And the thing that we have to realize is that, well, we do have control, but we don't at the same time. It's like paradoxical, and it's very humbling to recognize that we're not as in control as we think we are, but it's also terrifying at the same time. It feels like you're just like, I see it, I'm very clairvoyant, so I can like, I just see images. Okay, so that's another thing about clairvoyance. It's like, it's not like you see vision, I don't know how to explain it really, but it's like you receive information. It's really hard to explain to the logical mind, and I don't want to even like have to explain it. I just receive pictures that help me understand. Like, so I just, when I'm learning to let go of control, which is really hard for me, I have control issues. I grew up from a bloodline that has, you know, they like to be in control. And so it's a really hard lesson. It's a challenge. I don't like to use the word hard. It's a challenging lesson. And it makes you feel like you're just falling. Like I see the Tower card from the tarot deck. So like sometimes when I watch readings to help me understand, sometimes I'll refer back to the reading. So I'll watch the reading and it resonates. I'm like, okay, that makes sense, but I can't really apply it to my situation at that second. But then later in the week, I experience something, and then I see that card. I see that card from that reading and the message that came with it. I'm like, yes, okay, and then it's like, so it really helps me. Like, this helps me stay on my spiritual path, because with our minds, we can get so caught up in the material world, and we divert from our spiritual path. But right now I'm being asked to focus on my spiritual path, focus on serving, focus on that, and the rest will shift. And that can be hard. It makes you let go of control, and it's, like I said, it feels like I'm just falling, and like I have nothing to grab onto. So that's what I see, and it's just like everything is falling around me, you know, and I have nothing to grab onto. So yes, it is terrifying. But that's why I also because I trust my inner knowing. I trust that everything is working out for me. I trust that everything is working out how it's supposed to work out, and that it's for my highest good. It's for my soul. My soul is wanting something from this. My soul is growing from this. And that's how I choose to see the world, is from the perspective of my soul, and not from the perspective of my ego. Not from the perspective of the outside, but from the perspective of the inside. So for me, I live from the inside out, where a lot of people live from the outside in, and they let the outside circumstances dictate how they feel. And I just don't allow that, because I can't live like that, because, I don't know, honestly, it just doesn't make sense to me anymore. And that was part of losing the ego, and this is how I live. This makes sense to me. The others, like the way I lived before, because I did live like that. I did, honestly, and I never felt satisfied. I was always searching for more. I was always grasping for more, like clinging, trying to find something to make me feel fulfilled, to make me feel whole, and nothing did it. Nothing can touch the way that I feel now. And nothing outside of me can take it away. And that's the most empowering feeling to ever have. Ever. And anyway, that's why I'm sharing this. That was kind of a rant. But I don't really care, like, whatever. It's important for me to, like, express myself, and to be who I am, and to show people who I am. And that can be scary. Who wants to be seen? I don't. I'm more one of those, I've always been that girl that's just like, I'd rather just stay over here and let everybody else be in front of me. I'll just be back here. That's cool. Like, I'm not one of those people that wants to be in the spotlight, or share my feelings, or you know, that makes people uncomfortable. It makes me feel uncomfortable. But the more I do it, the better I feel, the more empowered I feel, the more I feel seen, you know. And I always struggled as a child with feeling seen. I always felt like nobody saw me, that nobody understood my mind. Nobody understood me, you know, and it's a heartbreaking feeling as a child, you know, it breaks your heart that nobody understands you, you know, that you don't feel seen. And I had to see myself, and I couldn't see myself, and now I do. And I see myself from the perspective of my soul and not from the perspective of my ego. Our egos tell us who to be, our souls know who we are, and our ego is formed by other people's voices. So the voices that tell us that we're not worthy, the voices that tell us that we're ugly, the voices that tell us that, you know, we're just not good enough, those voices can either rule our minds, and those voices, I have those voices. They are extremely loud right now because I'm doing something that I've never done before, and they're just screaming at me, like, and I have to choose to see them with love, and I have to say, you know what, I'm gonna be okay, and I am worth it. Like, I deserve this, and you can try to tell me that I don't, but I know deep in my heart, deep in my soul, that I do deserve this. And so we can either let those voices have control, or we can take control of them, and we can hear them, but we know they're not true. We can hear them and we can recognize them, but we have to look at them and say, you know what, I hear you, but I don't believe that, and so I'm not going to listen to you. Like, I hear you, but I'm not going to take your advice. And that's how we have to learn how to talk to those voices. We have to learn to talk to our ego like that. We have to befriend our ego, because if we don't, then it's just a never-ending war within ourselves. And when we're at battle with ourselves, we kill our bodies. We create disease in our bodies. We're at war, and this is reflecting in our outer world. And that's what our outer world looks like right now. Our outer world looks like war, because everybody is internally battling their minds. And we have to just put the armor down, and it's hard. It was hard for me to put the armor down and let, you know, be defenseless is terrifying, you know, like, and I say that from the perspective of my heart, like allowing myself to be seen, allowing my heart to be open in a world that is just it's like we're in a world that's determined to close us off from ourselves, from God, and that's why we feel at war with ourselves, and that's why we're creating war in our outer world, is because we're battling ourselves, we're fighting ourselves, and we just have to learn how to love that part of us that tells us, you know, that you're not good enough. But like, because I want to follow my dreams, that's what I'm doing right now, and it's unfamiliar to follow your heart when you've never done it before, when you've closed your heart off, and now it's like, whoa, this is, you know, like, it's a game of it's like learning how to trust yourself again. And I see it like the Mario Karts, I don't know if it's Mario Karts, it's not that, it's just the regular old Mario, like, you know, when he jumps up and grabs the coins, that's what it feels like. And those coins are my personal value, and it's just like, I want to keep jumping, you know, I want to get to the next level. It's like you know, you get to different levels, and you get to these different levels, and the coins, they seem out of reach, the challenge becomes tougher, and as we grow, it's just like souls, we're going to grow, and then we're going to move up to another level, and then those challenges are going to become a little bit more difficult. It's because our soul is growing, and so we need more. we need the contrast, and so these obstacles that we face in life are just teaching us, and if we look at our obstacles as teaching us, then they don't become so daunting, and we just have to see our challenges from a different perspective. So anyway, now that I've just continued to ramble for 15 minutes, I'm going to pull these cards. So I am going to ask, like, what I usually ask for my personal spread for myself that I do every week. I ask, what's the overall message for the week? So I'm going to ask that first. Then I usually ask, what does my higher self want me to know? So I'm going to ask just what does Spirit want us to know. And then I usually ask what is hidden to me this week. And then I ask for the advice for the week. Alright, so I'll start. So October. I can't believe also that it's almost the end of November. This year has flown by, and I actually I'm just learning so much right now. It's like a review period for me. That's what it feels like. I'm just like really seeing things from a different perspective. I quit my job, my full-time job, a year ago yesterday, and I remember when I did that, and well, the last day was amazing. I remember when I put in my 2 weeks, it was just like, at first I just could not believe I was doing it, you know, and it was something that I was guided to do, and now I understand why I was guided to do it, because I had so much to learn to pursue my dreams and to follow my heart, but I was in my own way. And so what I learned over the last year was how to just get out of my own way, and that took a lot. It took a year for me to get out of my own way and for me to recognize my worth, and and I changed my whole money mindset and my mindset around abundance, and I just learned a lot, and it helped me heal my addiction to worrying, and it helped me come back to the present moment. And a lot of valuable lessons that I've learned from quitting my full-time job. I had to like wean myself off kind of, and it was about building trust with God, with the universe, whatever you want to call it. It was about learning to trust myself. So anyway, I don't know why I feel the need to share this, but here I am just sharing it. And maybe it can be helpful. I feel like there's a lot of people that want to quit their jobs, and they want to pursue their heart's desires. They want to fulfill their soul mission, and we just don't know how. And I've allowed my soul to teach me how. And that meant giving up things. That meant simplifying my life. It meant giving up material needs. It meant giving up going out and hanging out with my friends all the time. It meant, you know, I had to give up spending money on things that just were not necessary. And but it helped me like change my spending habits. I'm just so thankful. Like, I couldn't understand always, but it just makes so much sense now. And I needed that, because when you have a lot of money, you have to like shift your sometimes when people have a lot of money, they think they have to spend that amount of money, and so you have to like learn how to live within your means. So even when maybe you are going to make lots of money someday. I know I'm going to. I just know it. It's just a deep knowing that I know. And that's why I had to shift my mindset around money, because I didn't want to spend it. I want to make lots of money so that I can make a difference in the world. I want to make lots of money so that I can give it to people, so that I can help make a difference in the world. I can help people that are struggling to eat and struggling to have a home. And that's why I want to make money. Not for my own selfish needs, not because I want to buy a giant house, not because I want to buy lots of cars, not because I want to have all the fancy clothes, because I want to help people, I want to serve people, and that's why I do it. And that's why I did quit my job a year ago, is because I wanted to follow my dreams. And I also had some personal things I wanted to deal with, and I wanted to spend time with my dad, and I just want, like, it's just like, I want to be like, so what? Like, and I say this, like, towards, like, the government, or towards, like, this need that we have to, like, I just want to be like, okay, I wanted to grieve, honestly. I wanted to grieve, and I needed that time. I wanted that time, like, and I don't think I was being selfish. I don't think I was being selfish at all. I think that, I was doing what I needed for my heart. And like, when you know that you're not going to have somebody in your life, you want to spend time with them. You want to do everything you can to show them how much you love them. And honestly, I just wanted to spend time with my dad. I just wanted to hang out with him. That's it. And I got to do that, so it makes me feel really emotional. let go of the attachment to him. Because I know now that, like, separation is an illusion. And that I'm never gonna lose him. And that's the thing, is like I have to allow myself to feel it, like, and I had to allow myself to feel it. I don't stay stuck there, like, because I know that it's just, they're just feelings and they just pass, and I'm strong, so. But I also wanted that time, so. Anyway, like, this has become a video of 20 minutes of me just sharing my life, and if you've watched it this far, I guess, thanks for listening. And, that's it, so. Okay, I am gonna pull a couple cards for the week. I really didn't mean to turn this into it. I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna turn my camera on. And it's funny because, like, I'm sweating so much, like, my arm. This is, like, super personal, but when I channel it from my soul, and when I'm speaking from my soul, it's just like my armpits just sweat, like, so much. Like, I'm just, like, dripping sweat, and I just know it's a lot of energy that needs to come out. So it's like I shift a lot of energy within, and then I tend to hold it in instead of, like, letting it out. And so I'm just using this as an outlet to let it out. And I just want people, maybe somebody can relate, maybe people can understand, I don't know. But this is just who I am, and this is what I'm going through, and this is how I help myself. Because we have to be able to help ourselves, we have to be able to, we just have to be able to help ourselves. And sometimes we search for people outside of us to help us, and sometimes we do need external help. There comes a point when we can't do everything on our own, and we have to kind of allow ourselves to be helped, and that can be hard for me too, to allow myself to be helped, because I'm, like, so independent. I'm just like, I just want to do it all myself, and I think that if I don't do it all myself, then I'm not, like, good enough, or I'm not, I don't know, like, proving myself or something. But there's no need to prove. I just sometimes you can only go so far on your own, and then you need help from other people, from your soulmates, from your soul family, and there's no, like, shame in that. And I just always thought there was so much shame in asking for help. And I don't want to ask for help because it makes you feel vulnerable. Asking for help makes you feel vulnerable. And somebody could be like, hell no, I'm not helping you, you know? And then you get shot down, and then it comes, like, the fear of rejection, and then so we don't even ask for help because we're fear we're going to be rejected. It's just, like, this whole endless cycle. But, anyway, maybe I'll just end this here. And then, no, I'll just keep going. Why not? Why not? Okay. So anyway, I'm done with my rant. Maybe some cards will come up that will help me understand why I don't know. Let's see what comes through this week. So, November 19th through the 25th. What is the overall message? Overall message this week. This is collective. So, this is what I do. I just, I ask Spirit to clear my energy, cleanse my aura, any energy I've taken on from the internet, any energy I've taken on that's not me, like, if I've been with a lot of people, if I've been in a lot of people's energies, if I've been on the internet a lot, if I've gone to the grocery store. Oh my gosh, I went to the grocery store the other day, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting, and especially when you're in tune to your senses. I had to come home and literally lay down and, like, just rest, and I'm very clairaudient, and so when I'm in these crowded places, or I'm in places that there's just a lot of energy, and I'm just around a lot of people, my ears begin to hurt really bad. They really start to hurt. And so I spend a lot of time in the quiet. That's just how I receive messages, and so I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't have a TV in my home. I just don't. It's not, I mean, sometimes I'll watch Netflix every once in a while, but I just don't like the noise. And so anyway, I ask for my energy to be cleared. So I ask for clear my energy, cleanse my aura, and you can, like, once you become in tune to your energy, you can feel it, like be cleared. I can feel my angelic guides clearing my energy for me, and they feel very light. And then I asked to clear out and open up my auditory and visuals. And I do this as I'm shuffling the cards. And I asked that my crown chakra be opened and cleared out so that I become a clear channel for the divine. And then I just asked to bless these cards, bless this reading, and bless me. And then, yeah, so the first question, November, I keep wanting to say October, November 18th through the 25th. What is the overall message? So this is going to be a collective reading for the week. What's the overall message? Set the intention that this message reaches whoever it's meant to reach, whenever it's meant to reach them. Overall message for this week. Okay, Eight of Pentacles. This is about like focused work and creating, because the Pentacles are about creating in the material world. So I feel like I hear the word dedication and focus. He's really focused here. He's still working on that one, but he's like, I like that he has them like stacked up too. Like on the tree here, like he's like proud of all his work. So I feel like it's about focusing on how far you've come, but knowing you still have these, he still has the one he's working on, and then he still has one more on the ground. Because 8 and then 9, 10 of Pentacles is like, so the 9 of Pentacles is feeling very abundant on your own, and then the 10 of Pentacles is like the family, and they're dancing, and it's like the ultimate, like leaving a legacy behind. So this is like focused, and it's just dedication. That's the word that comes to my head, dedication. So getting creative, working towards your dreams, following your heart, following your passions, and creating it in the physical, because the Pentacles are about the physical material world. And so it's like bringing it into, and as I'm talking about this, I can really feel my sacral chakra. So it's about really bringing your dreams into the physical world. Okay, so it's like one little step at a time. When I first began to start my weight loss journey, and it's funny because I'm using my weight loss journey as a way to help me through pursuing my dreams and starting my career, and sometimes it seems overwhelming, and I remember it felt so overwhelming when I was beginning to, like, how am I going to do this, you know? And then I was like thinking about it. I was like, I just did one little thing every day to get me where I wanted to be, and now I have to do the same thing with this. This is about creating finances too. This is just about creating money. And but it's doing it from a place of integrity, a place from like your soul's purpose and serving. It's more about serving and less about the money. But as you're doing that, you're creating financial security. So yeah, just about dedication. So yeah, it's just about taking one little step to get you where you want to be. And it'll like shift over time. And like when I lost a bunch of weight, like it felt effortless, and that's because I was just staying in the present moment and doing what I needed to do, following my guidance, listening to my body. And then before I knew it, I was like turned around and I was like, whoa, okay, this is where I'm at now. And so I feel like it's the same thing. That's just how I apply it to my life right now. Okay, next, what does Spirit want us to know this week? What does Spirit want us to know this week? Okay, this is 4 of Cups. So this is what Spirit wants us to know, is that this is Spirit too. This is funny that Spirit showed up in the card. But this is Spirit, and he's handing this man, but this could apply man or woman, this cup, and it's like refusing to see what Spirit is giving you. It's like only focusing, like, no, like kind of, I see this like a big child, like, no, it's not what I want, you know? And Spirit is like, yes, you do. Sometimes this is like Spirit's trying to hit you over the head with something, like trying to give you something. So this is about receiving. That's what I feel like. It's about receiving. And it's the cup, so it's about emotions, receiving love, receiving happiness, receiving joy. But you might, sometimes we get focused on more, like, no, I want more. And I hear like a blessing in disguise, or like being dissatisfied, the feeling of what's the word? I can't say it. I can't think of it. No. Yeah, so this is about like, so Spirit wants to know that they're giving us something, but we have to be open. See, like his arms are crossed, he's not open to receiving at all. So we have to be receptive. That's what I feel there. Alright, the next, what is hidden to us this week? What is hidden to us this week? And I'm going to clarify with oracle cards. So, what do we need, or what is hidden to us this week? What's going on behind the scenes that we cannot see? I feel like there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I can feel it mostly. Okay, so I pulled Judgment, and this is about like radical honesty is what I hear. Like, so just getting really honest with ourselves. I feel like we're getting an opportunity. I feel like that's what this is. Like, this is the gift. Like, Spirit is saying this is a gift, but you don't want it because you don't want to, you know, this is like Judgment Day, like, but like being radically honest is a gift, and it's, it can be scary to be honest, especially if we're so used to like listening to the lies, or, sometimes we just like create this, like, 'cause I did, you just like create this facade, you create this mask, and all that mask is like protection from your heart, like so your heart doesn't get hurt, or, you know, it's just a protection that we've created. So, I feel like this is just about getting really honest. Let's pull one more from there. What else from the tarot cards? What else can you tell us about Judgment? What else is going on behind the scenes of Judgment? Okay, perfect. So it came with the Devil, and this is about like deceit. This is about like our shadow self, and our lies, our self-sabotage. So, and I'm recognizing that too. So this is like, these are like the voices I was talking about. The voices that tell us we're not good enough. The voices that tell us that we can't do it, that we don't deserve it, that, you know, and also the Devil can represent like codependency, so our addictions, and the things that bind us, like the chains. See how they're chained there? And that's all like, it's energy. So, you know, and I'm just, right now I'm just feeling exhausted. Like my eyes are tired. I feel like somebody's tired of like being chained by these habits, being chained by these lies. There's lies that are, and they're just lies that have been created to protect your heart. They're just lies that have been, you're using them to protect yourself. And my heart chakra is very powerful right now. It's safe to let go of these lies. Like, get honest with yourself. Where are you holding yourself back? Exactly. It was like where, like I said before, where I was like, I had to get out of my own way. Get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. Okay. Wow, that's just a really powerful, I'm just feeling a very powerful message there. You can do this. That's what I'm hearing. Like, you can do it. You can do it. You can free yourself. That's what I hear. Free yourself. Free yourself from these lies. Free yourself from these chains. Free yourself. And what it means by freeing yourself is just get honest. Get honest with yourself. And getting honest sucks. It hurts. It will break your heart. It will tear you up. What's that saying? It's like, the truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off. That's true, and that's what I'm feeling. Like, first it's gonna, and anger, I just feel a lot of, I see the fire kind of like right here. Oh wait, no, it's on this side. Like, and the fire in his hand, it's like, I don't know, I feel like, and there's fires, the fires that are going on right now, this is just, it's pent up anger, and it's fury, that's the word I hear, and I see the fires, and I see them, and it's just all this anger we're keeping repressed inside, and Mother Earth just cannot take it. She's just like, I can't take it anymore. And the only way that we can put out this fire is if we feel our emotions. And see how this card, there's water, and there's lots of blue. It's like, we gotta get real, we gotta get honest with ourselves, and as a whole, collectively, we've got to realize that we created these fires. Like, this is our fault. Nobody wants to say that, and there's people that have died. There's animals that are being killed. So nobody wants to be like, oh no, this is definitely not. Like, no, this is our fault, and we can blame whatever we want. But if we got to get honest with ourselves, and we got to say, it's this repressed anger that we're feeling because people feel trapped. That's what this is, feeling trapped. This is feeling chained. This is feeling trapped, and people are feeling trapped, and they're feeling trapped in their minds. And I feel like this is also receiving the gift of healing and feeling your emotions, because it's the cups. It's like, receive this, feel it, feel your feelings, because feeling creates healing. And once we heal ourselves, we can begin to heal this world, this earth, and especially our country. But there's just a lot of repressed anger, and I can just feel it in people. People are just pissed. People are just furious. They're furious. I can feel it. And it's our fury that's causing, like, this fire. I see things from a bigger picture, and I know that we're all interconnected, and Mother Earth is a representation of us. She's our mirror. So if we don't see this, like, and I feel so much people have so much hatred towards our president. It's just like, stop giving him what he wants. He is disgusting, and he wants us. He wants us to feel powerless. And just stop. Just leave him alone. Just, stop feeding him. Stop feeding him, because that's what he wants. He wants to be fed. And the more we feed him, the more power he feels. The more, and it's not, it's like the more we are angry at him, it's like we gotta, anger, once you look into anger, it's just grief. It's just sadness. So that's what people need to do, is they just need to get really radically honest with themselves and recognize their emotions and deal with them so that they can heal them. Alright, anyway, there's a lot of information coming through from that card, from that little section right there. And I love that, like, so these are, like, to just explain kind of about, like, the tarot, these are, like, the major arcana. So then they have, like, the devil and judgment. So they're, and the devil, this is related to, like, Capricorn. It's a sign of Capricorn. So that could be a message for someone too. It's also Capricorn, and that's what was coming through, is a lot of fiery energy. And Capricorn is more about, like, long-term. It's not immediate ego gratification. It's more like, I don't know, it's a very earth energy. It's very fiery. That's why I was feeling the fire too. That makes sense. There's a lot of earth energy coming through recently, and I can feel, like, in my sacral chakra and my root chakra. And I feel like that's also a representation of the fires in our country, is there's just a lot of earth energy coming through. And yeah, our mother's just not happy right now. We don't treat her very well. And so anyway, next let's ask, what is the advice for this week? What is the advice for this week? So remember this, judgment and the devil, that's what's going on behind the scenes. And also, it's Mercury retrograde. And Mercury is, like, the ruler of communication. And I hear, like, foot and mouth. Like, so just be aware of what you're saying. Try not to get, like, too triggered by people, because people are just going to spew. Like, that's what happens during Mercury retrograde, is people just kind of, like, spew. It's really about communication. So, yeah, like, try not to be triggered. So that's what's going on right now behind the scenes, is like, this rage and, like, being bound to our bad habits. It's about, like, honesty is what's going on right now. Okay. So back anyway, what is the advice for this week? What is the advice? Okay, I got Six of Pentacles. This is like, kind of reminds me of Justice with the balance there, the balance in his hand. But it's also like reminds me of like beggary. And this could have to do with like poverty consciousness and like having enough, feeling enough. But overall this is just about balance. An equal give and take. And being fair. I hear being fair. Okay, I'm gonna pull one more. What else is the advice with the Six of Pentacles? So Pentacles is also about, you know, it's the material world. What else can you tell us about the advice this week with Six of Pentacles? These two cards just came out, so interesting. This is the Knight of Swords, and I just talked about like communication and Mercury retrograde, and that's what like the swords represent, our mind and communication. So the Knight of Swords is very like impulsive and irrational and like rushing forward and kind of can say like harsh things. And then also with that came the Queen of Swords. This could be like an air sign. Both of these could be air signs. I'm an air sign, and this is like embodying clarity, like knowing for certain what you want, and communicating that effectively. So I feel like these are two different energies, and I like that like the horse is like running towards it, like to the queen. But yeah, the knight is still a little immature and like immature with words. So I feel like with it coming with balance, maybe there's like a balance between the two. And I like that there's two people on the card here. And like one each on this card, on these two cards. So I feel like communication is the advice. Balanced communication. Equal opportunity is what I hear. And so yeah, this could represent two different people. Yeah, that's just what I'm getting from there. Alright. This is a little long, but I really don't care. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to pull an oracle card. I'm using Wisdom of the Oracle. Just pull here. So what can you tell us about this Eight of Pentacles for the overall message? Okay, too many fell out. What can you tell us? What's the overall message with this Eight of Pentacles? Alright, and that's funny that I pulled, like, I just was feeling this, like, exchanging gifts. So this is about, I like that it comes with the Eight of Pentacles, so that's what this is, it's clarifying this. And this is about, like, give and take. And I also feel like it's about sharing your gifts, and I feel like that's what this is about. This Eight of Pentacles is, like, working, like, how can you serve, how can you share your gifts, how can you help other people with your gifts. That's what I feel like this is about. Alright, and then and 8 is also a number of balance, and that's what this is, this 8 of Pentacles. And 8, you know, it's like the infinity symbol, so. And also I like that this, the Four of Cups, that's what I'm going to clarify next, is also very balanced. And also like this is very balanced, Six of Pentacles. Okay, so what is Spirit want us to know this week with the Four of Cups? Okay. A leg up. So Spirit is trying to give you help. Spirit is trying to help you. It's trying to give you this gift of help. And I was just talking about help earlier, about how we feel we don't like to receive help because we can be very independent and it can make us feel vulnerable. And so then we want to close off our hearts, just like this guy is like closing off his heart. Like, no. But Spirit is trying to give you this. Spirit is trying to help you out, give you a leg up. But you have to be open to receive it. And that's what comes with that exchanging gift. So this is also 34, which is 7. And 7 is just a number of expansion and spiritual growth. So that's what Spirit's trying to give you. This is just straight up. Like, I'm trying to give you this gift of help. Accept it. And that might not always look the way we want it to look. Certainly for me it doesn't. It has not looked like I wanted it to look. Not how my ego has wanted it to look, I should say. But I'm receiving a lot of help from Spirit and from my higher self. And my Twin Flames higher self is really helping me. So I am receiving help. And just because we don't receive help in the physical, because like I feel like this is a gift from Spirit, and it's Spirit that's helping you. This is less to do with about the physical world. It's less about receiving help from the physical world and more about receiving help from the spiritual world is what I hear. I want to read from a leg up. Let's see if there's any messages. This book, or like these cards and the messages that come with it are just very helpful, I feel. Okay. Let's read, so they have different messages. They have like the essential meaning of this card is receiving help, delegating authority, interdependence. Okay, so this oracle's message, you've come to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. I was just saying that earlier. This is all tying in to why I went on that rant earlier. Makes sense. Okay. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all the areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept. That's so funny. I love when this happens. The trick is to accept that aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles happen. Now is such a time. I feel like reading this. So that was the oracle's message, and then they have relationship messages and also prosperity message. So I want to read the prosperity message. Now is the perfect time to seek advice from a mentor or business advisor who has been where you want to go to help you get there too. If you do, you will receive very good counsel that will aid in your prosperity. It may also be the case that your endeavors have grown and you are in a position where you just can't do it all yourself anymore. Time to bring on those who can give you a leg up. Trust that help is available and it will indeed appear. Delegate authority to others so you can take step towards your big dream. The perfect people will arrive at the perfect time, so as long as you step forward with just a mustard seed of faith. I love that because it's like take one step towards your dreams, and then you'll receive what you need. Man, okay, I just love this. All right, Spirit is just full of messages today. This week is good. I feel like this week is good. Lots of good information. So next, with the devil and judgment, this is what's going on behind the scenes. So what's going on behind the scenes this week? The devil and judgment. Okay, so I pulled poised in reverse. This is just about like accepting where you're at right now and accepting that you're not ready to move forward. And I feel like that's just important because these things need to be dealt with. Like the devil energy, the deceit, the self-sabotage needs to be dealt with right now. And it's just about like, what's this, all this is about? It's just getting radically honest. And that comes with being honest. Okay, I'm going to read this in reverse because I feel like it has very important messages. What number is that? 48. So, and then when it's in the reverse, there's a protection message is what it's called. You are not ready to move forward at this time, and that has to be okay. Be poised in the face of demands and deadlines. Pretending you know what you're doing works sometimes, but if you adopt a fake it till you make it attitude, it will land you in some muck now. This is not a time to wing it and deliver something half finished. It's okay to postpone things until you are really ready. It's better to disappoint others now than to wish you had later. So that's just pretty self-explanatory. It's just like, especially if these things need to be dealt with, like, just accepting, and that can be hard. That sucks, you know, that sucks. That we're just not ready. That just sucks, you know, it does. But it's for a reason. I guess it's for a reason, you know? And I like that it's like, it's not a time, like, especially if you're working on something like this. Like, don't deliver it now. See, don't deliver it now. He's still working, you know? He has to, we can't deliver while, you know? And it's okay to take time to really, and that's what I hear is like, when I see this card, because this is the overall message, is like dedication and focus. And it's just about, and diligently, and just, I just hear like working towards your dreams, like making those little steps to get you where you want to be. And as you do that, you'll receive this help, you'll receive, but you have to move forward first. You have to take the steps first before Spirit can give you something. Like, you can't be holding on to something and receive it and then let go. You have to let go so then you can receive. And that's scary, that's hard, you know? And yeah, so it's just about acceptance. But I feel like that's a very important lesson to learn, is acceptance. And like I said, it's like when you let go of control, you feel like you're falling, and you just have to accept it. It's very humbling, but it's also very like challenging. But it just really helps you develop your faith and have faith in the universe, having like trusting yourself, trusting your feelings. And it just really helps you move out of this, like, and this is about childhood wounding too. These are like feeling abandonment, feeling rejection, like heartbreak, emotional abandonment. Like, these are the things that are holding us back. We just have to recognize them. And I feel like they're gonna come up, and they're coming up because it's like not time. So it's in this, like, this kind of reminds me of the Hanged Man, honestly. In this period of just like suspension, that's what I hear. Suspension, and not letting this energy, it's about, this is coming up so we can recognize that it's not true. We can recognize those lies aren't true. We can see them, like I said, we can see them, but we don't have to listen to them, you know, and that's what we're learning right now. That's what's going on behind the scenes. Alright, and then, the advice for this week. So we pulled the Six of Pentacles, and then to clarify, the Nine of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So the Thinker just fell out. I feel like that was probably the message, but I put it back. Let's see what comes up. What is the advice for this week? Okay, breathe. I like that came with this because it's about like quieting the mind. And with the two swords here, and like the swords represent the mind. So and like I said, with Mercury retrograde, like Mercury control or like rules like the communication planets, and Gemini is a communication, you know. It's an air sign. And I don't know, and I like all the blue, like with the breathe and these two cards, like it's just very, it's very, air, that's what I hear, like the mind, just very in the mind, so that's why it's important to take some time to, rest and meditate, and meditation brings answers. And I just feel like communication may be an issue. And so that's why it's important to like be where you're at right now. Yeah. So that's the advice for the week, is just take a breather. Be with yourself. Quiet the mind. That's what I hear, is quiet the mind, because the mind is going to be going crazy right now, especially in this hangman suspension. Like, all these things are going to come up, these childhood wounding, they're going to come up because they're trying to protect us, because it doesn't know what's happening and it wants to control. The mind wants to control. So it's important to quiet the mind. And I don't know, I feel like with this card, like, a balanced outcome is possible. Balanced outcome. But I don't know, this card feels very balanced to me too. Like, very grounded, but also like, because I feel like it's about, right now, we're learning to ground our spiritual energy, because this is very grounded. Like, we're taking our spiritual advice, we're grounding it into the earth. And that's where we begin to create. So, that's it. This was very long. Actually, one more. I gotta pull one from the Journey of Love, just because I love it. Alright, so, and this can just give us an overall message for the week. And I'll be at about 1 hour. So, I hope you enjoyed this. If you watch the whole thing, if not, that's cool too. You won't even hear this part. So, anyway, what's the message for us for this week? What can you tell us this week? Nope. Can you tell us this week? Eruption of light, number 11. Okay, and then I'll read that. Eruption of light, I like number 11. Your every prayer is a power-packed eruption of light beamed into the divine presence. Some pray with fear or doubt, as though the prayer is not doing much at all. Yet you understand that prayer is powerful, that it is divine action set in motion. Your power of divine prayer emerges from your heart and out through your throat, whether you speak or sing your prayer silently within your own mind, or aloud for all the world to hear. Let your prayers, okay, that's what I'm feeling. So, let your prayers, what do you dream about? Like, what is your dream? Let your prayers be vocalized. That's why those communication, I'm just feeling communication, because it says through your throat. It says that. Out. So, your power of divine prayer emerges from your heart and out through your throat, whether you speak or sing your prayer silently within your own mind, or aloud for all the world to hear. Let your prayers be vocalized as feeling expressed to the divine in words or song, if you choose. I love that, in words or song. I love expressing through words. And I like to sing too, but mostly I just like to sing the songs that I already know. But singing could be a sign. Words or song, if you choose. If you have the power to heal at your fingertips and vocal cords. I love it. Through your voice you can heal. Let your hands be joined in prayer position at your heart, and your mouth open to let the breath of your spirit move through your throat, creating sound as you speak it, so shall it be. This oracle holds a message for you. Your words have more power than you may realize, and you have a special ability to heal with words, to bring light where it is needed, and to uplift through simple kindness spoken. You also have a message to bring. It might be an urge to write, or to speak on topics that are close to your heart. You may also simply have the need at your soul. You may also simply have the need at a soul level to share from the heart with others when you are engaged in conversation. The oracle says your voice is part of your power. Do use it. I love that, because I love communicating. I'm also a Gemini, so it's like the communication planet. I was always just so scared to use my voice to speak about things that I think matter. And so this is a message for me too. I love it. Life begins with love. To complete itself again, symmetry is born. Beautiful. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope you enjoyed this really long message, and I'm sending lots of love. Take care of yourself.